Hello, hello. This is Christina, digital marketing coach, your host today. And today's a new episode of KSM podcast, Growing Business Online with Christina. And I must say that I'm super happy today and have my special guest speaker today, Mykim Tran. Mykim, welcome to the new episode of KSM podcast.
Thank you so much, Christina, for having me here today.
I'm so happy and glad to have you as my special guest speaker. And tell me, am I pronounce your name quite enough? Mykim, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And like as always, what I like to ask my guest speakers is tell us a little bit about you, who you are, what you do, and where are you from?
So currently, I am currently I am located in the U.S., Sacramento, California. I don't know, you will know that place, but
Yeah,
that's
yes,
where
of
I'm currently
course.
located.
I have never been there, but I know, yeah,
You
it's a very
okay.
famous place, Sacramento.
Yes, but originally, I am from Vietnam. I came to America in 1992 with my family. Um, so currently, uh, I am a humanistic psychologist, and my mission is to help people reach their full potential. There's a term that in psychology that I like to use to refer to as human potential is called self-actualization, where you become the best version of yourself. Um, and so my mission is to help people reach that level. And the way that I help people do that is two things, with their personal growth and to help them create meaning and purpose. So if individuals are doing those two things, then they have a good chance of reaching their full potential, being self-actualized. So that's where my expertise come in, and that's what I do to help people.
Yeah, and this is fantastic, and you're in the area of psychology and communication. Is
Yes.
that correct? And can you share with us about your background? Did you work in some in corporate world, let's say, and then start your own business journey?
No, I never worked for any corporate or any businesses. Somehow, even when I was young, no matter how qualified I am, I never get hired for for a position. So I guess it forced me to be an entrepreneur because that was the only way to support myself. So I guess I was like were pushed into that position because no matter how many times there's certain people that say, oh my God, you so qualified for the position or you're a good fit for this position. But at the end, I never really got hired for any position. So I guess my career is that a forced thing is that because that's the only thing that was available to me. But I'm glad that I did it. That was presented to me. So I started my career as a speaker because when I was younger, I have low self-esteem. I have low self-confidence because I was overweight. And being overweight as an Asian person, it is tough because I always get make fun at, I always get mocked at, and it's very tough as a young kid. And and I didn't want that for myself. And so throughout my teenager and young adult, I learned how to take better care of myself. And most importantly, I learned how to dress better. So even though I was still overweight, but I was able to learn how to dress in a way that helped me look attractive. And I found out that you don't need to be skinny to look attractive. And so when I learned how to dress with confidence, my self-confidence, self-esteem skyrocketed. And so, and because of that experiences, I just want to share that to other youth, to other teenagers, that to share with them that body image and that you don't need to look skinny to feel good about yourself. All you just do is learn how to dress for your body and also learn how to take care of your body. And I always found out that I always take care of myself, even though I was overweight. But I never did anything to harm my body. I never go on any unhealthy diet or anything to harm my physical health. So, but the more I take care of myself, like eating healthy and exercise, just as a good thing for me, um, I also my self confidence also increased. And because of that two things, I just want to share that happiness with other teenager and young adult. And so that's how my career started as a speaker. Um, and then, of course, as I continue to learn about psychology, in my master and in my PhD, that's when I learned more about human potential and what motivates individual to be their best self, to increase their confidence, to do what's good for them, so they feel good about themselves, about their self-acceptance. And so that's when I found out that if you are on the path of learning and growing and doing meaningful things, you will feel good about yourself. You'll feel good about what you do, and and also help you reach your full potential. And that's what teenager and young adult truly want these days. They all want that. And so that's how my career evolved as I go um, about it. I mean, of course, today I talk a lot about more about psychology and human potential and less about, self-confidence. But I still have that as a foundation for me. But as I evolve and grow, my knowledge and skill and what I talk about also evolve and grow to help me grow as a career and as a person.
And
So
Mykim, this is fantastic, because you started from this is your you started experienced with your own self, and then you felt that, and and this is the best way how to express yourself and what you have inside of you. And this is from your, as you said, from your teenage age. It doesn't matter how do you, if you feel good in your skin, in your body, like just in terms to in your own self, and have such a good connection inside and outside of you. This is so fantastic. And thanks for sharing this, because it sounds good, and we all have, maybe we need to get back in our childhood and see what was there, maybe, and how do we start, how we started our, our journey, our life as adults. And
yeah, I found
I
out that if you look back in your life, there's a lot of things that you can share that can impact others. And so I found out that personal story, personal experiences has the most impact on others,
and I
to
have a
inspire others.
question. Did you overcome your overweight?
Yes. So so only about 4 years ago, that's when I started to truly lose the weight out. Because when I was younger, I was like, again, when I was because I was feeling good about myself, right? I started my career when I was still overweight, because I want to show others that you can still feel good being overweight. So, and I was still overweight and I was still feeling good. Um, but the thing is, when I lost the weight, it's not because I want to look good. Well, of course, as human beings, we all want to look good. That aspect. So one of the things that I teach people is that 80% is from the inside and 20% is from the outside. So when I try to lose weight, it's a lot of it because I want to be healthy. But the 20%, of course, I still want to look good. Because as a human being, I think we all want to look good. So, but only 20% of that from the outside. And that's why dressing with confidence, because I was able to dress with confidence, that was the 20% that boost my self-confidence, that helped me get started. But I lose the weight because I wanted to be healthy. I wanted to have the energy and to show that yes, because we need to stay healthy to be your best self.
You,
Because if
you
you're
know,
overweight,
did you know, when someone, it was from my experience, but I will continue with questions about your psychology and everything, what you do. But at a moment, what we are talking now, it was like when you put some kind of, when you take, makeup and everything, and there are ladies who just feel like much more self-confident, because it was one of my friends, classmate, and she said, Christina, why don't you choose such a good lipstick? You never know when you will meet your boyfriend, or some guy
Yeah.
who will adore you. Like, you never know. Like, it was when I was younger, and this is some kind of self-confidence. But anyways, you said maybe when you were younger, in that way, for you, overweighting, it wasn't like so priority to take off those kilos, because but when we are getting adults and older, we just think about our health, and we just have a momentum correctly when we need to lose weight, because
Yeah.
we feel good in our body with overweight. But anyway, sometimes we need, and because also of how we look like, just to be fit, not fat or something like that. But anyway.
Yeah. And also another reason why I lost the weight like maybe in 2017, that's when I start my weight loss journey. But and the reason why I didn't lose weight successfully when I was young because I didn't really know how. I didn't really have the knowledge how to lose weight successfully. I mean, I always see all this information outside, but it's just fat diet and do this, do that. But that's not really the correct way when it comes to weight loss science, psychology aspect. So I didn't really learn how to lose weight successfully until I was in my 30s. That's when I learned the correct way to lose weight, to keep my body healthy, but lose weight as well. So I didn't really learn that until in my 30s. So I guess that's another reason why I didn't able to lose weight in my 20s because I didn't
But
know how
finally
to
you
do
did it, you have
it.
done
Yeah.
so.
So
No worries. you know Mykim, can you share with us about your business journey, and how did you start, and how did you choose a way to, you mentioned it in some way with your, in connection with your, the way of life, and what did you do as young, but and about psychology, can you share with us what you do, and also in communication part, just like, and I know you have also foundation, but so we will speak about, I'm going to ask you many questions in terms to share your amazing story, which will influence other listeners maybe to start their business or lose weight or whatever, and they can connect to, just to connect with you, to reach out to you for some advice or connect, and as psychologist.
so so again, I start out the reason why I decided to become a speaker because when I was a back then when I started my career when I was 24, and I was inspired by motivational speaker and trainer. And every time I see them or I listen to them, they get inspired. I get inspired by them, and so I just want to be like them. And another thing is, I love speaking. In my college year, every time I had to present in front of class, I found out that I always volunteer to go first. I just want to do it, and so and then I overcome my struggle and I want to share with others. So I always think to myself, what is the career that I can share my experiences with others? And because I would admire and I want to become like a speaker, and that's how my career started. Um, and then the reason why I keep on learning, and then but another thing why I asked myself, why did I have the motivation to take care of my health even though I was overweight, but other people don't? And so I said, okay, I need to discover why I have motivation and other people don't. So one time I just looked through a community college catalog and I found out different motivational classes. And one of the classes it talked about motivation. And that class is called Introduction to Psychology. And Introduction to Psychology, they cover different areas of psychology, and motivation was one of them. And so I signed up for that class. And so in that class, that's when I discovered health psychology. And when I discovered that area, I was so happy because not only I learned about health, but also learned about motivation, behavior, why people stay healthy, why people smoke, and why people exercise. And so when I discovered that area, I was so happy. And so that's when I decided to pursue my master in psychology, in health psychology, in understanding health behavior and how to motivate people to stay healthy. Um, and then once I in my master program in health psychology, that's when I discovered humanistic psychology. And that's what a humanistic psychology. Humanistic psychology is understanding human beings. And so, and I discover what motivates individuals the most in life, not only to take care of themselves, but also do good for others and for themselves. And I discovered the area of humanist psychology in that my master program. And so when I found out about that, that's when I also get excited. You don't know how excited I was when I discovered
I can just
humanistic
imagine that.
psychology.
I can
So
imagine
I was like,
really.
cannot wait to start my program. And that's when I decided to pursue my PhD in humanistic psychology. Is not only to understand human motivation to help individual take care of themselves, but also to help them thrive. And so that's how I got into psychology and behavior. And so and so that's how my career started. That's how my education level up. But one of the reasons why I start Wake Up Foundation, my nonprofit, is when I moved to South Sac to do my work. That's when I met a lot of low income students that is struggling with mental health, that was struggling with lack of direction in life. But at that time, I was a speaker. I was doing for profit. So a lot of them come to me for services, but they couldn't afford because they're low income. And so a lot of them have to walk away, and I feel sad about it. And so that's how Wake Up Foundation developed because out of the need of the youth. But the thing is, it came by accident somehow. Because when I was working at South Sacramento, I met a gentleman. He was very supportive of me. He introduced me to a lot of community advocates who know about the nonprofit, who know how to run it. And he introduced me to a lot of people how to develop a nonprofit because I have no clue how to do it. But he saw the potential in me and he saw that I was doing good for the community and so he introduced me to different people to help me develop the nonprofit because I didn't know how to do it. And when I look over what he present to me, I say, okay, there's the best opportunity because again, I already have the youth coming to me but couldn't afford. So that's how Wake Up Foundation was found.
And
And
when did you start with Wake Up Foundation? When did you found when you it was founding, like
so
as founders?
2013,
This is
2013. So I started my career in 2010. But Wake Up Foundation developed in 2013.
it's for now more than 10 years.
They were,
And
yeah,
congratulations on that, and
thank
finally
you.
you lost weight. You mentioned
Yeah.
2017, so many things happened meanwhile. And what is the core about foundation Wake Up, and how do you help? How young? I know that that you help a young students also, and what is the core? How students reach out to you? Maybe there will be listeners who wanted to connect with you and to get to know more about your foundation, Wake Up Foundation, and how they can join or how they can, just share with us a little bit, maybe for it doesn't matter what ages are those students or schoolers, or I don't know, but high school or college or college or university.
So our target at Wake Up Foundation is 14 to 24. But when we first start out, our target was 18 to 24. But then we have so many teenager, high schooler come to us. So we had to lower it to 14 to 24. Like again, at Wake Up Foundation, is still my mission, is still following through with my mission. Help people reach their full potential, creating social change, creating meaning and purpose. That's still our end goal for them. In order for to do that, we help them with their personal development, to understand themselves, increase self-understanding so they know who they are. Because school today, is lack of teaching them how to increase self-understanding, increase understanding humanistic quality as a human being. We all have this quality, and school is missing that. And so with the foundation have that platform to help them understand who they are, which is personal development. That's one of the core. And then the other aspect is social change, creating meaning and purpose. Now that they know who they are, how do they use that to create social change, to create meaning and purpose? So that's our other program. So our two core program is personal development and social change.
And when they
So
wanted
we
to
have
join, when could they join from all around the world in online as well? And do they have some fees and for for to getting to join the platform? How and what is the part how they can use it, like through the content, through the video call, do you know how they can learn from there or how they can participate in a way? In
So
terms of
both
foundation.
program, we have the program consists of three things: event. That's the first thing they do is attend event. Like for example, the personal development. They will attend event to learn everything about personal development, and then we have activity where they can do on their own. How to keep track. We teach them how to keep track of their personal development, on their own. And then we have support group where they come together and share how do they keep track of their personal development. What did they do today to increase their personal development? And they share and others, and they can learn from others how other people learn with their personal development. And then so, and then we also have ongoing, from that event, we have ongoing support, like one-on-one if they need it. So the one-on-one is not free because it's dedication, but the event and the activity is free. But if they need extra support of one-on-one, there's a tuition fee, a sliding scale if they need that extra support with it.
And this is fantastic. So for all of you who wanted to join Wake Up Foundation, can you share with us your URL of your foundation for our
My
listeners?
what?
Your website, like that our listeners can hear about it. And I will put all those links below this episode, but just for listeners who will listen to this podcast, this episode.
So our website is www.wake-up-foundation.org. So it's like our name. A lot of people don't put the dash, and so it will lead them to something else. So it has to be www.wakeupfoundation.org.
And you are present on LinkedIn as well and Instagram, so people and
Yes.
listeners and students can join and can go to the social media and try to just to find you and message you and connect with Wake Up Foundation.
Yes. So we are currently on LinkedIn and Instagram. But if you want to connect with me personally, I'm also on LinkedIn. That's the best way to connect with me. Um,
This is fantastic. As a psychologist, do you work also with your clients, maybe not just only in Wake Up Foundation, but do you have some kind of clients who do you work with in person or online, like with the group, or do you work only with students?
so for Worker Foundation is with student, but I also work with an adult. on the side to help because through Wake Foundation, we encounter so many adults who want the services as well. But say the foundation is mainly to support the youth, but so I also work with adult no matter what age to help them create meaning and purpose also. For them, I do with them personal coaching only events. But for the youth, for Wake Foundation, I do a lot of project with them. But again, for the adult, it's only through personal coaching.
This is fantastic. And when you do personal coaching, what do you mostly and work on like on self-development or some kind of in what uh I think that there are people who as entrepreneurs maybe do mostly work with maybe females, women or men, or and when they get when how they feel after working with you, and you I think so that you solve their problems.
So on the adult, a lot of my clients 80% female. So my goal is again my specialties on motivation and mindset. So I developed a, a, a formula called Life Success Formula, which include four things, which is the science, the knowledge, making sure you have the right knowledge to become successful, like weight loss. I didn't have the weight, not the correct knowledge to lose weight. That's why I always have trouble losing weight, and which is important. The arts. I talk about the arts. Yes, now that you have the knowledge, how do you apply in your specific way in your own lifestyle? Because each of us is unique, and there's even though losing weight have a foundation, but there's a unique aspect about you that you learn apply it and in your own way successfully. So that's called creativity. So I teach them how to be creative to give them more motivation. Um, and then the mindset is having the right mindset. Why do you do it? It well, mindset and motivation can be overlap, but mindset is do you have the persistent? What does success mean? How do you become successful? So for example, success in anything require persistent consistency, determination. So that's the mindset of success. So you want to become successful, do you have that three basic component? Because if you don't have that, it's hard for you to persist to become successful. So that's more about mindset. And then motivation is why you do what you do. Do you do it for external approval? Do you do it because you do it for yourself? So what is your motivation behind it? And so I talk a lot about human potential, what motivate as a human being. So if we focus more on positive qualities such as self-esteem and self-confidence, if you can focus more on that instead of getting reward outside, then you will have more motivation. And so that's how I was able to lose weight successfully because I do it because it's a good thing for me, because it's healthy for me, and not so much of the outside of looking good. But of course, like I said, 20%, because we are not perfect. We need that 20% of the outside. So I say, okay, 20%, that's how much you can have of the outside, but 80% should come from within you. So by combining those four components, it will increase people motivation to do what they need to do, but most importantly to create meaning and purpose, because that's what they come to me for. So
Yes, this is, yeah, I love what you're saying, And when you mention persistency and consistency, I really put my motto because I'm one of the co-author of the book Global Women in Business, which is published and promoted in 2019 in Melbourne, Australia. It was with self-publishing company. And my motto was be persistent, be consistent, be successful. And this is a motto with every of our 7 ladies from all around the world share their stories. And my stories was my way to success. It was one chapter of the ladies from New Zealand, Australia, US, Canada, France, and myself from Serbia. And it was lovely about it. And when you mention, motivation is so important. as you mentioned, and to have knowledge and also to educate yourself and have mindset about many things. And also, do you have some resources on your website when listeners can, when they connect with you, maybe do you have some kind of your, like a freebie workbook or something like that, that someone who wanted to join on Wake Up Foundation or to join to your, just to connect with you, just maybe to see how it looks like, just to know how do you work, how do you do what you do, just in terms to feel that.
Yes, so um on my on Wicked Foundation website, there's a lot of resources how to increase your self-esteem and self-confidence, take better care of yourself. But on my personal website, where I post the life success formula, where I create a video on how to apply it successfully in your life, and there's other resources on how to do it, how to learn the right knowledge, how to increase your creativity, how to develop your mindset, and how to understand human potential to motivate yourself. All that's on the website. And um, meaning and purpose is one of the motivation in life. So they will learn how to create meaning and purpose on the website. When you can have that, it will motivate you to take better care of yourself. So, and of course, a lot of people sign up for my newsletter, which they can also sign up on LinkedIn, where they get I do research, and so I will share with people about my new discovery on motivation, on human potential, on through my newsletter, where I send out at least once a month, but sometimes twice a month once I discover something new about human potential and motivation.
And that's fantastic. And can you share with us the name of your website, of your personal website for our listeners?
So my personal website is www.mykimtran.com. So it's very straightforward. On my LinkedIn, LinkedIn is a good place to learn more about me also. Um, so my LinkedIn page is Mykim Tran, PhD. That's where I post all my work also and share my discovery also um, to others.
That's fantastic. So we can invite students from all around the world to join Wake Up Foundation. Just don't hesitate. Go there, check out the website of Wake Up Foundation on social media, on LinkedIn, on Instagram. Also connect with Mykim Tran, and you can get a lot from there. Just and before we ramp up our podcast today and episode, can you share with us a message for our audience? And I always ask my guest speakers if they wanted to start something, if they have business idea, especially as you mentioned that you work with females, what would be the message? Because I asked you, Miki, many questions today, but just final message for our listeners who will listen this episode with you as a guest speaker.
The message is to for me is to always trust yourself to make and make tough decision in life. I make um whatever it is that you want to do, you go try it out and not be afraid. And I found out that even if you fail as a human being, we can always learn to overcome it, no matter what. A lot of people are afraid to do new things because they don't know how to overcome failures. But from my experience as a psychologist, as a humanistic psychologist, I found out that no matter what you need to overcome, no matter what kind of failure you need to overcome, you have the ability to do it. And so when people can understand that as a human being, they are more willing to try new things. So and I didn't find out that until I was learning about humanistic psychology. But when I was young, I had to make tough decisions. No matter how difficult the situation is, I still need to do it, and I need to do it for myself. And a lot of people think it's selfish, but you do it for yourself, and when you do it for yourself, it will translate into others to become selflessness And yes, it start out with you, but that's how you need to do it. Start out with you, and it transcend to other people. So, I found out that I also encourage other people that whatever you want, do it no matter how hard it is, because life is about making tough decisions. But that's okay, even if you fail. As a human being, we can overcome anything, and I found out that is true. Not only from my own personal experiences, but as a humanistic psychologist, as a human being, it's
If
true.
we don't try, we can never know how it's going to be. But to be honest, we learn from our failures,
Yes.
and this is fantastic. We are unique in this planet. Mykim, thank you so much for being my guest speaker today. It was lovely talking to you. You shared such amazing story, share such amazing info here, and please reach out to me, Kim. You will get to know much more about yourself, get self-confident mindset, and she will help you a lot as psychologist. Thank you so much, and see you very soon in the one of new episode of KSM podcast. Thank you so
Oh,
much, and have a lovely day.
thank you so much, Christina.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Bye.
Goodbye. Bye bye.